Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Transit Tours on the New York City subway. Today we find ourselves in Jamaica-Van Wyck station, and before I can get into the history, I think we need to talk a little bit about the name. So you'll notice that the history is probably very different because of how weird this station looks. But actually, this station was built in 1988, but the station right to the north, I guess, of it, the west of it, next station over, was called Van Wyck Boulevard at the time that this was created. And you can imagine that that created some confusion, having one station called Jamaica-Van Wyck and another station just called Van Wyck Boulevard. So in 1998, 10 years later, they finally changed the name of that one to Briarwood or Briarwood Van Wyck, but all of the tiling at that station still says Van Wyck Boulevard, which is very confusing. And I don't know why they haven't changed it, because anyone who would want to go there or would want to go here and passes by that first would probably be confused. So yes, this station was built in 1988. Took a long time for them to build it. In the 1970s, business owners in Jamaica complained a lot about what was then the elevated line. So the MTA made plans to move the elevated line underground. That is what is today the J train. But they decided to also extend part of the Queens Boulevard line, which then just ran to Jamaica 179th Street on Hillside Avenue on the north side of Jamaica, and then decided to run tracks also to this line on the south side of Jamaica that connects to the LIRR station and the main business district. But between that line on Archer Avenue and the Queens Boulevard line, they built one intermediate station in the middle of a Van Wyck Boulevard, which is this station, Jamaica-Van Wyck. Now, if you look up here, there's something very interesting. There's little windows. I don't know what they're doing. They seem to be letting a very small amount of light in, but it's very strange. I don't know. This station's design is very unique among New York City subway stations. The red tiling is a common element of a lot of stations that were designed in that period in the 80s. Along with the 49th Street station on the NRW, which was redesigned, and this is what the Lexington Avenue 63rd Street station used to look like before it was redesigned for the 2nd Avenue subway. So another interesting thing about this station is this raised passageway here that gets you to the entrance on Metropolitan Avenue. It's just kind of overlooking the tracks on one side and gives it a real asymmetric feel. But yeah, it's just like a kind of overpass that's not generally found in other subway stations, but also, of course, the design of the subway station is very different. It's kind of reminiscent of the Washington Metro, and which was built in the late 60s. It's just, yeah, this kind of geometric shape, the high ceilings, whatever this kind of trackway in the ceiling is. Just kind of the lighting is so different. Not actually that far underground, but it feels like we're far underground because it's so unnatural and poorly lit. And yeah, so in a moment, Manhattan-bound E-train is coming around the curve here and is pulling into the station. Check it out. So yeah, this station is kind of awkwardly located, and as a result, it has pretty low ridership, under 5,000 for a weekday at this point, compared to the other Jamaica stations, which are by bus terminals and in business districts, which are much, much higher as a result. But yeah, the station, I'll show you where exactly it's located, but it's just got a couple of entrances by a highway on a street that gets decent use, but there's not, like, the main attraction near here is Jamaica Hospital, and it's important to have subway stations connected to hospitals, but I don't know, that's kind of all that's around here. There's not even that many people living here. So yeah, I'm going to exit the station, maybe show you some of the mezzanine level, and then show you where exactly we are. So now I'm at the overlooking part that I showed you earlier. So this is what it's like to look down on the platform level. Again, it's just kind of a different view that you don't really get from most stations. It's a pretty interesting, pretty. It's just the station is so unique. It's also the only station that is served exclusively by the E train, which is which is a fact. Yeah, Jamaica-Van Wyck. So yeah, we're now headed to the south exit in the station, which is closest to Jamaica Hospital. Long tunnel past the south end of the platform. I've never been here before, if I'm being honest. I've never gotten out at this station, so I didn't know what to expect. This is cool looking where we are. Kind of more elaborate than you would expect, but also kind of, not very glamorous. I don't want to call it brutalist because it's not, but it's got that air to it a little bit. So yes, this is the primary entrance on 89th Avenue, just off of Van Wyck Boulevard. It's got this little M sign that's evocative of that era of development. It's this weird brick building. Right here is Jamaica Hospital, right there. So it's very convenient for that. And of course, Van Wyck Boulevard, which is one of the primary highways, is right here. I don't know. But yeah, this is not like a super urban environment, not where you expect to find a lot of people. That's just the sense I'm trying to give you. Here's another Jamaica Hospital building. But yeah, this is a very unique station in the subway, and I thought it was worth sharing some details about it. Thanks for watching again. As always, please give me feedback if you have any, if I can make this more interesting in any way, what parts of it you liked, what parts of it you didn't, any of that stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping up. This has been another transit tour.